Or
Yeah.
5, yeah,
5,
yeah.
The next question is, should we start?
yes.
Absolutely.
Okay. Then let's go for a roll call.
Mary Hatt,
I'm here.
Margie Vanderberg,
Here,
Jim Widmer,
Here.
Jane Held,
Here.
Marianne Lobner,
Here,
Kevin Cast, Kevin Francis.
Okay. Public comments.
I did not receive any.
Okay. And moving on to approval of last month's minutes. Anybody have any issues with them?
well, these weren't part of the minutes, but the donations. Is that a different, should I say something about that later?
Yeah,
Okay,
we'll get to that.
alrighty.
yeah, so moved to approve the August minutes.
Okay.
I was been moved and seconded to approve the minutes. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? So they're approved. Staff recognition. We have 4 anniversaries. Susan Dress of 6 years. Jolene, help me with her last name.
Lahutsky,
Say it again.
Lahutsky,
Lahutsky. Thank you. 2 years. Laura Volmer, 8 years, and Margaret Warner is 8 years. And I'll be in soon to pick up some more gift certificates. And that's good. Then the financials.
Nothing exciting to talk about. Everybody's doing well with the revised budgets, staying in where they're supposed to be. We did get the revenue shows the second half of the property tax, and the PLF has been doing quite well. So
Oh, that's what happened. Okay. Thought my computer went nuts. All right. Does anybody have any comments, questions? I know we're gonna talk soon about the gift from the state and a few other things, but for the monthly report, if everybody's happy, we need a motion to approve it.
So move. James.
thank you.
Second, Margie.
Thank you.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Any other comment? Then all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Nobody. All right, so the expenditures are approved. Then library donations. I know we have a comment from the floor.
It's just a name change. The donation from Tom and Deborah Sandvik, it should be in memory of Linda Penry, Penry, instead of Perry.
Thank you.
That's all.
I will
Yes,
fix
it was
that.
very hard to read on the form. I learned that when I was trying to find the obituary, like, what is this? I don't see anybody, but yes, Penry.
Sorry, that was my mistake.
No, that's fine. That's an easy one to make.
Okay, and the donations we have is one new one.
Yep, for a newborn baby girl from the Port Clinton Women's Club.
Oh,
Okay. Oh, that's nice. Okay, how about the director's report?
So we've had some different things going on, to include sadly Scott's retiring effective September 1st. I hired a new custodian, but apparently Stasha overwhelmed him and he didn't think he could do the job. So he text messaged me to resign before he really started. I offered the job to another person we interviewed. She turned it down. So now I am in the works with Riverview Industries to see if they can come out and clean. I met with them on Tuesday. I'm supposed to be getting an estimate tomorrow, so hopefully they can come on board soon. But if her ballpark estimate works out, it'll end up costing us less than hiring on a custodian. So I'm willing to give them a try and see how it works, if they can do the detail that we need, or if we'll have to get somebody in here to carry on where Stasha left off. So right now I am your lovely custodian lady. I have my custodian clothes on the bottom half and my director clothes on the top half tonight, because I'll be cleaning after this.
No problem.
Exciting news, the retention schedule was approved by both state entities, the Historical Society and the Auditor of State. So we can now go ahead and destroy the backlog of all of those documents. So right now we're just working on finding a company who will come out and either hopefully shred them on site so we can open it up to the public once the library documents are shredded, or to haul them off if we can't find somebody to do it here.
We've had somebody come in the past. It's been quite a while, but I had a couple of people ask me if we were ever going to do that again.
Yeah, that's certainly the preferred method to get that done, especially since the Friends would like to pay for that and open it up to the community.
Did we have a lot of community participation?
Well, I couldn't tell you the numbers. Evidently, I mean, they did it a couple times.
Okay.
I know the credit union that I belong to in Texas would do it like every other month, and the line would be down the street and around the corner and like a
Wow.
traffic hazard. So it was
Wow.
popular there.
Well,
You just gotta let people know it's happening. That's the trick.
Yeah. So we had touched on it a little bit, but Jan applied for the coronavirus relief funds, libraries grant through the Office of Budget Management. So that's federal funds that gives us $25,000 for each building. So we received a total of $75,000. That money is there, and it is an item tonight to discuss how to spend those funds. We also got new copy machines, and Jan renegotiated the leases, so we're saving approximately $190 a month or more, depending on how many copies are made, but it should be around $190 a month. The machines are pretty much exactly the same, and now they all are on one bill instead of 3 separate bills for each location. So time saving too. Quarantine has changed once again. The latest study shows that materials that are stacked are not having the virus die within the 6-day testing period. So now everything is spread out on tables, single file, so it's not stacked, and hopefully it's getting the air it needs to let the virus die.
So how long are you quarantining now?
It's a week.
A week, wow.
We will be starting up a virtual book discussion. Martha, our adult librarian, is working on that. I think I don't have an October calendar visible. I think it's the second Tuesday in October, maybe. So we'll try to get a book discussion going. I'm sorry, Jan, did you
I
remember?
think that's right. I'm trying to find a calendar.
Yeah, I still have July up on one of them, so that's real helpful. Let's see. Outreach, Mary's making deliveries to the senior places that are allowing deliveries and picking up items for the individuals who are living at those residential facilities. We have started back up homebound delivery. There's been lots of weeding happening. because the shelves are full to the point where we can't shelve. Um,
Hmm.
And Courtney had a nice interaction with some individuals who were staying here from out of town. They came in, took some items from the book sale, and were pretty excited that we were open because their libraries where they were coming from in the Columbus area still are not open at all. In youth services, Kristen is transitioning into her new role. She's hit the ground running. We've been training over Zoom on how to order materials and try to make that as easy as possible, but that's kind of hard to do online, but I'm sure she'll be fine. She also put together make and take bag, or I'm sorry, take and make. We don't want them to make them here. They're going to take them and make them pirate theme for Talk Like a Pirate Month. And so those are out here in the children's area.
By the way, do you know what a pirate's favorite letter is?
Oh, no, it's the C.
Oh,
Out at the brand, well, out at Marblehead, one very exciting thing that finally happened is after much harassing of the vendors, the power doors that the board approved, I think in February, are finally installed and operational, and the electrical issues out there are also fixed. So Erin was so excited, she sent me a video of her pushing the buttons and going through the door. So she's very happy. I think the patrons out there will also be happy when they go in the door, that the doors will reliably open if they push the button. She's also working with Danbury to provide them with books, so the kids don't have to do so much sharing, and she's got a special band she's putting on them so the parents realize that it's coming from our library and not the school library. And they're also working on some take and make kits as well. On the island, Sue Duff and Karen are working on a Zoom version of their Words and Wine book club so they can share their glass of wine and discuss their books virtually. And Sue Duff has been working on science experiments to utilize her science teaching background. And there's a kit then that parents and kids can pick up from the library to do the experiments along with Sue while she does the video online.
that's great.
There's a list of trainings. Our statistics are depressing, but I think that's only to be expected.
Yeah.
But when everything is negative, it's kind of discouraging, but
Yeah.
hopefully we can make some gains here.
Well, the good news is when all this settles down, hopefully we'll see some increases in things.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. And Ohio Digital Library, once again, is up 15% for the month and 14.9% for the year. So
Well, that's good.
there's something that's up.
But you know, it's just like those people said when they came in there, some libraries aren't even open yet. So I think
Yeah.
we're way ahead of the game here.
Yeah, I don't think Sandusky is open yet. They're just
They're not.
run it out to the car.
Yeah, so I think you should feel good about it. I don't think you should be,
Yeah.
I wouldn't be depressed about it.
Well, I mean, it's just like, oh, negative 42% in circulation. When you live and you die by this every month of your life since you've been a librarian, it's hard to not look at that and go, oh,
Yeah.
but no, we're okay. We're open. People are coming in. Any questions?
Okay, and we're gonna increase, oh, I guess we talked about that, increasing hours.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, then, anything more on the manager's report, the director's report? Then, committee reports. Clearly, the committees aren't meeting formally. But I did ask the one committee, the, what is it, the policy and personnel, to work on a new appraisal form. And I'm wondering if there's a comment that could be made on the progress on that.
No progress at this time, but there will be by the next meeting, right, Jane?
Yep, we'll pass it out next October meeting.
Okay, well, we've got you recorded as having said that.
Dun, 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 dun.
All right, thank you. Just because it's popped in my head and I took care of it at my church in my own house, just last weekend, the county was allowing everybody to get their old paint brought to the fairgrounds and gotten rid of. And it just dawned on me, we might have paint at the library that's ancient. And if we do, next year I can get rid of it.
We
do you know? if
do have some paint around. I don't know how much of it's ancient versus what actually matches.
Okay.
Paint though too, we can pop off and let it dry out and throw away.
Yes, you can. All right. Then items for discussion. The library grant.
So this is the CARES Act funds that we received the $75,000 for. I would recommend that we use it to purchase hold lockers for all 3 locations. I have gotten information from 2 companies who have the outside compatible locker systems that can be totally outside of the building. The first company has not gotten me back a formal quote, despite the fact that they said they would have it to me last week. The second company, which I sent the information out for, I thought was going to be the more expensive because they have the product that seems more library friendly and offers more bang for our buck. And to get a unit at each location, we're looking at $73,305. So the federal grant would cover all of that. We would probably have to tap into some money from the donations we've received this year, or friends money, or just general fund to run electricity to some of those locations. But by and large, the cost of having the hold lockers would be completely covered by the grant.
Where are you planning on putting these?
So let me find my pictures.
Okay.
So at Marblehead, Aaron and I have found the best spot would be next to the staff entrance. There's a concrete pad there, and this is not to scale. This is just my little mock-up to kind of illustrate where it would go.
It's pretty good.
So it would be over off to the left of the entrance, and our hope is that it wouldn't get the wind off the lake directly at it then, since that side will be facing, the back side will be facing to the lake. Their model, since it won't be under anything, will come with a little roof. But that's essentially what it'll look like. White with these little individual cubby holes, a computer screen, and what happens is you come up, you scan your library card number, and one of those little bays pops open and you grab your materials and off you go. So that's at Marblehead. At Ida Roop, unfortunately, I think the best place for it is blocking one of the display cases in the front to the left of the front door. The other option would be, I think, to stick it under the arbor in the back. But that's kind of a secluded, strange spot for it. But This area and the spot in the back were the areas that we identified it could go at Ida Roop.
Do they need to be undercover? Is that what the deal is?
Yes.
Okay. What, but like the one at Marblehead's got the little roof, right? What about back by the door to the the community room? You know, like that first employee parking lot spot there next to the door?
I guess I'd have to,
I really don't like putting it in the front like this.
Well, the advantage of that is it's also right by the book drop, so you're co-locating things that people use,
and power. But,
and it has power already and a roof.
I know.
I'd have to measure to see about the sidewalk, because I don't know if that would fit and still give us enough clearance on the sidewalk, because the sidewalk is only, you know, like 1 square wide back there up against the building.
Do you see this as being something permanent, or is this just for the pandemic?
Oh, no, permanent. This is something that people suggested us getting in the strategic plan, because it'll allow people access to the library 24/7. If they can't get here during the day to pick up their holds, we put them in there and they pick them up whenever it's convenient.
Yeah.
It's a safe location, and I don't think people are gonna use it if it's like secluded, you know, like in the dark in the back.
Right, yeah. That was my thought too.
That's all lit up at night, though.
Is it on camera at night?
I don't think either of those areas would be on camera at night.
Can it be? Because I think they should all 3 be on camera, because I think it's going to attract a lot of interest.
They probably can be. That's another expense and installation. Well, and I guess at Erie Islands, probably not, because that's on school property. So we have no control over their cameras.
What if you flipped that on the other side where that book drop was, since you already have a book drop included on this?
Well, our model, this is just a picture of somebody else's. Ours would not have that. That would be additional lockers. It would match the right side.
Okay.
The first thing that popped in my head, and I'm very willing to back away from it, is that recognizing it's going to be something attractive for teenagers to want to kick over. And so putting it against the brick wall would be better for them. Being up against the window frame that you've got there, that's not bad. But the fact that it needs to be undercover is important. The fact that you need to be near power is important. And you know, I'm willing to back away from my original comment for the sake of all the other advantages of that location.
And it has to be a place that the snow is always shoveled.
Yeah, that was something we talked about at Marblehead too, because if we put it on the patio, well, the snow removal company doesn't do the patio, so then people are trudging through the snow.
And they won't do that.
Nor do I want staff trudging through the snow to have to go put the holds in it. That's the other thing, that staff have to go out to put items in.
Oh, yeah.
And at Erie Islands, this is just to the left of the entrance into the school for the library. And Steve
Have they
Poe-
approved it? Sorry.
Steve Poe is on board with this, but I think once we approve something, the school board's gonna have to approve it being actually placed there. But he's really excited about it and was out there helping Karen measure and
Wow.
That looks like a great location. But now I have a question about the financing. We were given $25,000 for each location. Are we required to spend $25,000 at each location?
No, the whole pot of money can be spent across all 3 locations, however we deem it necessary.
So but we could spend it all in one location?
Yes.
Okay, so we do have full flexibility.
I think
Yeah, it
that
has
Mar-
to be something related to a COVID expense.
Okay,
I'd be leery of that Marblehead location if you said that's on the north side facing the lake surface. I mean, with the roof on there and the lake winds that come in there,
It's not.
The back is facing the lake.
but it's still on the south or north side of the building.
It's on the west side of the building.
Yeah, I'm not seeing where that is. I'm not getting where that is either. So it's
It's near the
It's-
parking lot.
They're
it's
standing,
north of the main entrance
yeah, they're standing
Yeah,
on the
on
main
the
end.
west side.
on the west side, yeah, by the
To the
parking
east
lot.
side, okay, all right. That's better.
is there enough room to turn that 90 degrees so it goes against the wall?
No,
Well, if you had it, you say you can't put it against the wall flush?
no, there's not enough room with the window there.
Oh, there's
So-
Oh,
So how much space between the wall? I mean, it looks,
Well, like I said, this is just a mock-up. I don't know exactly how much space there would be.
so it's not gonna be flush against the wall though?
I don't think it's gonna be precisely flush against the wall. We can probably get it close. But this overhang will have to be considered too in the door.
yeah.
Well, there's an overhang there on the existing building.
It's just a soffit.
Um,
I would,
Do they come and install it? I mean, they're your
Yes.
vendor? Okay.
Yes, they come and install it, train us how to use it, get it running with our circulation system.
And that's included in the cost, okay.
all I ask is that you think like a teenager when you're putting it in that location and do the best you can to secure it so no kid can push it over.
I think they're bolted to the pad, but don't quote me on that. Because I don't think there's any way they could stand out there like that without being bolted down.
Well, maybe,
Right.
maybe you can run a rod down from the soffit to add stability from behind it.
I would think that the company would have some suggestions and
Yeah.
some idea of what the likelihood of it being vandalized is, I'm sure.
Yeah. Well, if it's Portland, the likelihood's pretty high.
I think at Marblehead, it's probably very low. At Erie Islands, it's probably very low. Here, you give a little bit larger chance, but
Okay. What about Kenosha, Wisconsin?
I don't know where that's at. Are they rioting there? I don't know.
Oh, Lord, yes. They stopped. I lived in Kenosha for 15 years. Anyway, I think this is a great idea myself. Do you need anything from the board to go forward with this?
So to go forward, we need a motion from the board. And the motion needs to be that it is also more of an emergency purchase because we do have to spend the funds by the end of the year. There is a 10 to 12 week lead time on getting these manufactured and out here. So Jan and I have been talking with the auditor. Normally this would have to go out for bid. If the board sees that it is a time sensitive matter, it does not have to go out for bid. But yeah, we will need a motion because $75,000 is well over my spending limit.
Okay. So it's obviously a time-sensitive issue. And so I need somebody to offer a motion.
I'll move. Do I have to say the whole thing?
No, just tell us who you are.
Mary Ann?
I'll second.
And that was Kevin?
Yes.
Okay. So been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Then all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, so it looks like you can go ahead with this and it's a great thing. And you might need a little bit of money from our funds and our normal funds and maybe some from the friends.
Yeah, I mean, we have donations that have come in this year that we could potentially use. We've barely spent any of Ida Root Friends' money, so I'm sure they would be more than willing to let us spend whatever we need to make this happen. And it probably wouldn't go over what they've already committed to us this year. And then there's monies available in the general fund too, if needed.
Okay, well, good luck with that. It looks like it could be a very welcome thing to the community.
I sure hope so.
I hope it's user friendly.
I think it will be. I mean, there's a learning curve on everything, but if you can use UScan, you should be able to do this.
Yeah.
Scan your card, it opens for you, you pull your stuff out.
If you can't make it work, find a 10-year-old. Okay. Increasing the managers to 80% of normal hours.
So all of us managers have been struggling to get things done in 26 hours a week. To be quite honest, most weeks, most of us are spending more than the 26 hours we're supposed to be spending, but are reporting 26. I would like to modify the management shared work Ohio plans to go up to 80% of our normal hours. So full-time would work 4 days a week. And give us more time to order book lockers and clean bathrooms and do some marketing instead of all just finance.
And you need our approval.
I'm not 100% sure if I do, but I feel like if I don't and I just do it, then somebody's gonna come along and say, oh, you need the board's approval for that. So it feels safer just to get approval.
Well, then how about a motion to approve this?
So
I move-
moved, Jane.
Second, Margie.
All right, been moved and seconded to increase the manager's hours to 80%. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Okay, you go, girl.
All right.
Shifting current hours.
So it's come to all of our attention that our hours of pretty much having exclusively morning and afternoon is not working for some individuals. So we would like to shift our hours a little bit to accommodate some evening hours. At Ida Roop, that would mean moving Thursday from 10 to 5. Instead of that 1 to 8, we would be open. At Marblehead, they would be open Tuesday evening from 3 to 7 instead of the 12 to 4 that they're currently open. And at Erie Islands, Gay can only work in the evening because she's back to teaching. So they would have 2 days, Tuesday and Thursday, 3 to 6. So A, she can work, and B, people can get in a little bit later.
I think the birds approve.
Mhm.
And so it doesn't change the number of hours we're open, it just changes when people can access the building.
Well, I think one of the issues is the 5 PM, and I know you don't want to be there any later than 5, but for most businesses that are open till 5, to get there by 5 pushes it. We're not that pushing for 5:30 or 6 most given days, but I don't know if you find a rush at the 5 o'clock mark or not.
I don't see a rush at any time of the day, to be quite honest. But the idea then would be that if you are a working individual who can't get here by 5, Thursday would be your day. If for some reason Thursday doesn't work for you, you go to Marblehead on Tuesday. We did that intentionally, not having the same evening hour. So it's like, well, if you can't come Thursday, go there Tuesday, or if you can't go to Marblehead Tuesday, come here on Thursday.
And you're gonna put all these new hours on Facebook and try to really publicize it?
Yeah, and it would go into effect October 1st, because for one thing, everyone at Ida Root probably is gonna flip out when I tell them they have to work every other Thursday at night, but It'll give them some time to prepare.
At the risk of extending this meeting a little bit, back when things were normal, go back a year ago, during the fall season, what was the busiest time of day?
I can't really tell you that at Arup because we don't count by the hour. But I can tell you that when I'm here on Thursday nights for book club or board meeting, after that, around the 7 o'clock hour, there's nobody in here.
Why don't you cut that down then to noon to 7, or, because you're not gonna get anybody from 7 to 8 per se. That way no one has to be there late in the dark in the winter.
Yeah, but don't you guys have something to do between 7 and 8, like cleaning up or, winding up the day?
Well, and plus, when you have the meeting rooms loaded, you gotta be there till 8, right?
To throw
Well,
them out?
In normal times, yeah, we're there until 8:30.
You're just
We would-
talking COVID
We
time.
would, yes, this is COVID times. We would still be here until 8:30 because we need that extra half hour to accommodate a lunch break. Staff would work from 12 to 8:30,
Okay.
but that would give us time to pull in the books, put them in quarantine at the end of the day and all of that extra stuff that happens.
You get any feedback from, or does anybody know that you're thinking of extending the hours to 8 PM as far as staff?
On actual staff, no, this is a management discussion that we came up with this between the managers.
I mean, in hindsight now, or not hindsight, but in what other site that would be, 8 o'clock now seems sort of late. If you're saying it's pretty dead at 7, I mean, staying there till 8 might be a
Well,
little
and maybe
too
it
late.
won't be dead because it's 1 day a week. Normally, we're open 4 days a week until 8:30.
Yeah.
Personally, I think we should just go with what Lindsay
Right.
is saying because it is temporary.
Right.
And
That's my feeling too.
I don't
Yeah,
think it's something
I
that
agree.
needs to be micromanaging. that.
I trust the opinion of those that are working it. So you don't need a motion on this, you just,
Well, the board does decide our hours, so
okay. So we need a motion.
So moved.
Second.
That's Jim and Kevin. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, you got it. And hours at Marblehead Peninsula Branch Library upon return to full time.
So this does not have to be decided on now because obviously we're not going back to normal times. But Erin brought up the topic that the hours at the branch don't make sense. I have to agree with her. Anytime that I need to see if they're open, I have to grab this little magnet off the filing cabinet to figure out what day it is and what time they're open. So the idea would be to standardize the hours a bit and make Monday, Wednesday, and Friday the same hours, add Wednesday, and then make Tuesday and Thursday the same as well. So hopefully people get into that. Well, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, it's 11 to 5, Tuesday, Thursday, it's 1 to 7, and then Saturday's the outlier from 10 to 2.
How many hours are we adding?
It would add 6 hours.
Oh, yeah, 28 and 34, okay.
And like I said, we don't have to decide anything on this tonight, but she brought it up and I said, well, I'll bring it forward to the board to at least get the discussion going. So when we are ready to go back, we have at least started thinking about this. One of the things I did is the door counter out there allows us to run a heat map of the most popular times in the library. And so I outlined in blue the times that Erin's proposing for us to be open. And except for this little outlier on Friday morning, we would be hitting the heavy times. And I feel like people would probably shift back to an hour on Friday if we opened an hour later on Friday. But we're hitting the heavy times. They were open until 8.
Seven.
A magnet, 8:30 on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And so there was a little bit of traffic, but honestly, one of those is staff member going out to get the open flag and bring it back in. So there's pretty much no activity. And as far as staffing it, Aaron and Tina have enough hours built into the budget that they can work more hours, and this would be fine. And Aaron would potentially like to keep Margaret out at the branch another day. And she's already budgeted 40 hours. It'd probably mean having Karen, our part-time associate in children's, work a little bit more in children's, but as far as budgeting goes, I think we can definitely handle the increase in 6 hours.
Well, as you say, you don't need an answer now, but as long as we can afford it, I'm always willing to increase hours.
I think the natives will like it too, especially the Wednesday.
I think
You
it
wanna-
looks good, but there's a lot of potential changes that are gonna happen in the next 6 months that I don't know. I mean, I think put it on the back burner and there's not much we can do about it right now.
Yeah,
You're proposing a temporary change of hours, correct?
This would be their permanent hours when we actually go back to being open full-time.
Okay.
But we're potentially talking like 6 months from now, right?
I have no
Hopefully.
idea. If I
Yeah.
could go back to full-time tomorrow, I would. In fact, I tried to get the managers to go on board with that, but
I think if the world was the same and we went back to full time, this looks good. But since we don't know what the world will be like and we don't know when that world will come, yeah, that's about it.
Okay, any other comments? You got what you need on that for now, Lindsay?
yeah, and we can bring it back up when we are hopefully going back to a normal world. Whenever that may be.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Is there anything else? For the good of the order then, how about a motion to close?
So moved.
I'll second.
All right, it's been moved and seconded that we end this meeting. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Hi.
Anybody opposed? You keep your computer on, the rest of us. Thank you for meeting and
Good to see ya.
Bye.
Bye.